Two of the era's heaviest hitters collided in 1995 when Tommy Morrison took on Razor Ruddock for the vacant and useless IBC heavyweight title. But greater prizes would be on offer for the winner of this humdinger.
There is Tommy Morrison in yet another watershed or potential watershed in his career. And across the way, Razor Ruddock, the man who gave Mike Tyson two difficult bouts, had a shot against Lennox Lewis that turned into disaster for him. People will watch even these early rounds quite closely.
Yeah, there should be explosiveness. Sometimes you see fighters with the same power styles become very cautious so they don't open up, but Tommy Morrison, with the exception of the George Foreman fight, has always gotten in there and done major early work.
And remember, the last time Ruddock was in any kind of a major fight several years ago was against Lennox Lewis. Lewis caught him early and whacked him out early. Nice jab by Morrison. And remember,
so many intriguing matchups, Al, because, you know, the old adage, don't left hook with a left hooker, but that's the money punch for both guys.
Both guys have to do it, you're right. I was going to remind people of the nice uppercut by Ruddock. Oh, there goes Morrison! He leaned in and got whacked with an uppercut. Will Morrison box? Is there room to box? No, he's going to go after Razor Ruddock. He's moving now, but they want him to 16-foot ring Morrison. Now it may not serve him well if he has to box.
He sure could use a 20-footer right here. He has to get the jab going, and Ruddock will try to put him away here, loading up with everything. Hey, Morrison may have to pound his way out of this, ironically enough.
Ruddock doing a very nice job of blocking that left hook. What Morrison may have learned is that on the inside, Ruddock is much more dangerous, and that uppercut, that was the punch that stunned Mike Tyson on a couple of occasions.
Tremendous shot. You know, you look for the left hook, you worry about the left hook, and something else comes up. And we talked in the open about Ruddock not using his right hand enough. There he did.
Ruddock has not thrown many punches since he knocked Morrison down. In fact, he's thrown very little. There's Morrison with the uppercut. Now, Morrison has gotten off the canvas to win before against Joe Hipp, against Carl the Truth Williams. He's done it.
Ruddock faked the left hook and almost landed the right hand bomb, and Morrison answers with his uppercut.
So Tommy Morrison down early here in round one, but now fighting his way back and landing his share of shots. It is scheduled for 12, almost no one thinks it will go that long. And you saw evidence why here in round one.
Having a 16-foot ring with somebody bearing down on you is like being 40 foot away from the pitcher's mound, and the guy's got a tremendous fastball. Ruddock just missed with that one.
Morrison tried the jab, and Ruddock countered with the hook.
Well, based on the early results to this point, Ruddock did not parlay his knockdown.
We head into round two. Never in a million years did Tommy Morrison's people think he would go down from any kind of right hand.
No, and Ruddock hadn't shown that in other fights, and it wasn't in a situation that Morrison had left himself open. They were tying each other up, but Ruddock was extremely quick, to his credit.
Tommy Morrison comes out smoking here in round two, but did not land any of those punches.
Ruddock looks like he's trying to set up the one bomb.
Now, the old Ruddock, before he lost to Lennox Lewis, remember, went a long way with Mike Tyson. I mean, he took some bombs from Mike Tyson. The first fight was stopped, many think inappropriately so, and then he went the distance in the second fight. This crowd lends some vocal support to their hero, Tommy Morrison. Ruddock lunges and misses with the hook, and Morrison didn't make him pay.
Morrison was busy backing off and was happy that the punch didn't get in by Ruddock. That's what intimidation and early knockdown can do for you.
They want Morrison to use his jab. He has not been able to get that punch on track.
And Ruddock so far has done a good job blocking the Morrison hook. He's really been able to tell when Morrison is about to launch into it.
The hook blocked by Morrison. Ruddock has done a nice defensive job. Good combinations by Morrison, which he is capable of at his best. Dave, it's interesting. People think Morrison's not a school fighter. He is when he uses all his tools.
And sometimes the adrenaline of the crowd and his own intention to win the fight early can get him away from those styles. He boxed a masterpiece against George Foreman.
And even when he's being aggressive, he can throw combinations as he did just then. There's Ruddock using the jab sparingly. Razor Ruddock is not a guy that throws a lot of punches. There's the uppercut landing, but this time Morrison absorbs the punch.
But he still paid for it.
Oh, he hurt Ruddock with a right uppercut. Razor Ruddock got rocked by the same punch that knocked Morrison down. Lifted, give him a standing 8 count. That's bizarre.
Because of the gloves on the top of the rope being used as a support.
I guess. It just seemed like Morrison had a big advantage there that they took away from him. Tommy Morrison hurts Ruddock, but that counts as a knockdown would. And the IBC has a standing 8 count in effect.
Ironically, the knockdown gets called after the major damage had been done because of the timing.
And eliminates the possibility of Morrison knocking him out. The only reason why I was critical there of Ron Lipton, who, by the way, is a very, very good referee. So in round 2, it's Morrison's turn to hurt Ruddock. Oh, big hook by Ruddock, and he lands an uppercut. Now remember against Ray Mercer, Morrison threw those beautiful combinations, landed the same kind of shots. Mercer just wouldn't go down.
And Mercer has that titanic chin.
We're into round 3. Tommy Morrison and Razor Ruddock. Morrison was down in round 1. Ruddock was down in round 2. Who will go down in round 3?
Why don't these guys use the stools between rounds? Morrison has stood up after both rounds. Razor Ruddock stood up after that one.
Razor Ruddock not only stood up, he took a little walk in his corner.
Maybe he wanted to clear his head.
Another right uppercut by Morrison gets in.
We're seeing excellent use by both fighters trying to set up their howitzer. Each knows they're taking the measure of the chin of the other one, and they're trying to set up bombs.
We talked about both men having very good left hands, but it's been the right uppercut by both men that has been the big weapon in this fight. They both came in with something to prove. Among those things was that they could withstand a big punch and come back. Ruddock against Lewis was hurt early and put out, and Morrison has been put out early, as in the Michael Bett fight, and has been knocked down by some journeyman fighters that he probably shouldn't have been knocked down by. Halfway through round 3, Morrison trying to use that jab.
The whole essence of this fight, no matter what time of the bout it is that one mistake could end it immediately.
And you feel like both men are aware of it, thus the economy of punches. Well, the heavyweight division is spicing up for a variety of reasons, and here we have 2 good heavyweights in there against each other, providing fireworks. And somewhere, probably watching, Riddick Bowe and Jorge Gonzalez, who will get it on in a week or so in Las Vegas. They have the crown that Bowe has the crown that Tommy Morrison once held, the WBO variety.
Morrison using his jab more in this round. A safe shot. He can set up a punch behind there if he wants to, and if he doesn't, he can be satisfied with getting his punch home.
There's Ruddock looking again for the right uppercut.
Morrison went right to him, tried to tie him up, and didn't quite complete the job.
Now, normally this would be too early to say it. Even though we're only in the 3rd round, I now say, folks, who's going to get tired? Because both men are showing some signs of it here. Good left hook at the end of that round by Razor Ruddock. His best left hook in the last round or so. We head into round 4. The advice given to Morrison was combinations, and in fact that has been what's worked for him in this fight.
They even gave him the numbers, 7-2-5. And they also said establish yourself down low, which is a good idea to try to get underneath Razor Ruddock and then go to the body as he does there.
When he starts to the body and then comes up to the head with those combinations, Ruddock has a big problem with Morrison.
The key for Tommy Morrison is when he camps inside of Razor Ruddock, he immediately must throw punches.
Yes.
In the first round, he stopped for a second, and Ruddock had that lightning knockdown with the uppercut.
And if he's not going to throw on the inside, he needs to get out right away. Now for Razor Ruddock, he has had virtually no effective punches on the outside, but there is the jab of Ruddock, which has been dormant.
Well, you'd think that Ruddock would want to lure Morrison into a clinch so that he can work his way out of it, as he did in the first round, and he's just missed with a couple of opportunities. Now this is a good chance for Ruddock if Morrison doesn't throw.
Neither man willing to throw too much there, and again, there we get back to that stamina question. We did a Tommy Morrison fight against Terry Anderson recently, which Morrison looked dead after the fourth round. He won it with a body shot, but boy, he took some punishment.
Now, a moment ago, Ruddock had Tommy Morrison right in front of him and did not fire the uppercut. Now he gets it in.
Morrison not punching on the inside, Ruddock is. Now Morrison's punches look like he's tired. Right now, Morrison's not throwing with the same effectiveness.
And normally, you see a fighter go inside to try and buy some time. But in this particular fight, that's a bad strategy for Tommy Morrison.
And I'll tell you, if he gets tired against Ruddock, as he did against Anderson, he'll get knocked out, period.
Yes.
End of sentence, end of paragraph. And he looks tired right now, Dave. Ruddock looks like he's leaning on Morrison a little bit to try and tire him out more.
Yeah, it looks like Tommy Morrison has hit the wall first.
Nice body shots by Morrison. Even this amount of movement, though, in a small ring is still enough to keep Ruddock at bay, though. Shows you how slow Ruddock is moving.
Ruddock cutting off the ring, sets up the right hand. Morrison has the movement in his arsenal. Ruddock really doesn't. Morrison should use it.
Good uppercut, but Morrison comes back. No, he's got Ruddock hurt. He hurt him with the left hook. Razor Ruddock is hurt now. Good body combinations by Morrison. But Ruddock is talking to him. And right now we're watching what has turned into an interesting, even stylistic fight in a certain way.
It really has. We've had the drama of the knockdowns, the near knockdowns. Morrison needing to move more. Ruddock trying to be opportunistic. And this fight is exactly what it was supposed to be. Two guys needing an opportunity with strong offensive skills, not the best chins, and heart and the best execution will win this fight.
Good left hook. I think Morrison was hurt by the left hook a moment ago. I believe that left hook got to him. And now he's moving in boxing as he did against George Foreman. But oh my, took a big left hook. Well, they say that was low. I don't know. A point being deducted. Is there a point being taken away?
Man, I think it's just a break where they're going to give Tommy Morrison some time if he needs it.
All right, there was no point deducted. They simply said we're going to give Morrison a moment or two.
And fighters should use all the time. Nobody does because they figure everybody's waiting on them. But shake off the effects. Buy some time. And Tommy Morrison knows the longer he takes, the more people will get mad at Razor Ruddock for doing that. He should milk this.
And that he is. Ruddock has begun to throw some pretty potent body punches, though, in the last round or two. Now he is forcing Morrison back. That uppercut may have stunned Morrison.
Tommy Morrison got hurt by the right hand. He couldn't bring his jab back.
Ruddock is going after him. We talked about the stamina of both men. Morrison has had trouble as he's gone into later rounds.
Hey, we've seen it recently with Holyfield Mercer, and now here, where you can have fun in a heavyweight fight.
You can indeed, and this one has proved to be quite interesting. And it ain't over yet. Good right hand. Ruddock throwing more right hands than we are accustomed to seeing him throw. And the combination punching of Morrison is not there as it was earlier.
Ruddock really taking advantage of the left hook scouting report that was his. Also, he's getting closer here easily. Ruddock doesn't even have to jab his way in here. He's getting close to Tommy Morrison.
Morrison dabbing his eye. I don't know if he's cut over his left eye. It doesn't look like it. There's the Morrison attack to the body and then the uppercut to the head. When he uses it, he's effective.
It really is fun to watch both of these guys go for the knockout, fighting as if neither one is confident that they would get the decision or that the fight will go all the way.
But Ruddock landing some big shots here in this round.
Just missed with that uppercut. His hooks have been very good.
Morrison has forgotten what works for him, and that is go to the body and then drill combinations. He's unable to do that. Big hook by Ruddock, but Morrison is still there.
And the point is, he shouldn't be. He should be on his bicycle right now.
Big round for Razor Ruddock. Morrison with a hook at the bell, and Ruddock with a hook at the bell. We head into round 6. It is scheduled for 12. Tommy Morrison down in the first round. Razor Ruddock a standing 8 count in the second. And since then, it has been an interesting exchange of power punches with Ruddock dominating the 5th round, and we think maybe going after a tiring Tommy Morrison.
See if Ruddock goes to the body here. Good hook. And one indication of Tommy Morrison being tired is that after Ruddock misses a left hook, Morrison cannot immediately come back.
Ruddock has fought once in the last 15 months against Anthony Wade. He won in a lackluster decision performance. Before that, in 1992, he was knocked out by Lennox Lewis, and prior to that, he had 2 very tough fights, which he lost, but distinguished himself against Mike Tyson.
We have seen almost nothing of the Tommy Morrison left hook in this bout. Ruddock, with his good left hook, has neutralized Morrison's.
There's a hook by Ruddock, and it may have hurt Morrison. Big left hook! Down goes Razor Ruddock! From nowhere came the hook that we had not seen for rounds. Can Morrison put him down again?
What a terrific shot. Round of the year candidate.
Morrison hitting on the break, and both men have been guilty of that. How about Ruddock getting up? What does Morrison have left?
A standing 8 here.
Now, this standing 8.
This counts as a knockdown.
That counts as a knockdown. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect.
And we've had a knockdown plus a standing 8. That's a lot of time for Ruddock to kill here. And Ron Lipton told us before the fight he would like to see the standing 8 not in effect here. The 3 knockdown rule not in effect because of flash knockdowns. He may be forced to stop this, yet both fighters look like they could keep going.
Remember, Razor Ruddock was the part of the most controversial stoppage of the year when the fight was stopped against Mike Tyson by referee Richard Steele. Morrison is nailing him though, but Ruddock is still holding on.
He needs to buy about 10 more seconds, and it's a long one. He will not do it.
Oh my, it's over. Toward the end of the round, Ron Lipton says, I have seen enough. Tommy Morrison comes back to win with a TKO here in the 6th round.
Now take a good look at Razor Ruddock if we can focus on him. That's not the look of a fighter who should not be fighting anymore in this bout. But the 3 knockdown rule comes up to bite him.
Well, it was a dramatic fight to be sure. Dramatic ending. To find out about it, let's go to Michael Buffer.
Referee Ron Lipton calls a halt to the bout. The official time, 2 minutes, 55 seconds in round number 6. The winner and new IBC heavyweight champion, Tommy the Duke.
That was 1995, and Tommy Morrison unleashed his fearsome left hook to snatch a dramatic victory from the jaws of defeat. The Duke came up short against Lennox Lewis next time out, whilst Ruddock teetered into mediocrity.